Greetings and salutations. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to today's upload. Before we jump on into it, a couple quick links. As many of you may know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and channel membership is in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. These audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost a cent. Click the like button, takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads that I put out daily, click the bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment and share this video. Why? Well, because these things really do help the channel to continue to grow and go. They definitely do matter, and they are appreciated. And with that, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump in to today's upload, shall we? All right, so today I'm going deep with you guys, and the information that I'm going to share with you is information our clandestine government agencies don't want people to know about. They don't want us to think about this shit. And I've been going down some rabbit holes. Many of you have as well. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that aliens, the Greys, the reptilians are demons. I believe the Luciferian agenda is the hand that plays the power on Earth. It always plays against humanity. Why? Well, because humanity was created in God's image. So who else would be responsible for screwing with the creation of God in his own image? Lucifer. So with being all of that, these aliens/demons, they have figured out a way of traveling and bending space-time to go from one side of the universe to the other, from one dimension to the other, wherever they may come from, wherever hell truly may be. And listen, you know, I know somewhere in the comment section there will be, in the Bible, it tells us hell's right here. That's good. That's fine and dandy. I have no qualms with what the Bible says, but I'm going scientific here. We know that we know that hell is not the center of the earth. We know that. I truly believe that if in fact there is a hell, and sure as shit there is, because if there's God, and I know there's Lucifer. There's always a good, a bad, a yin, a yang, you know, black, white, whatever. But I believe that hell is not of this plane of existence. It's in another dimension where these alien demons reside, where they're creating technology to share with us, just like those angels that came down from heaven, fell in love with the daughters of men, shared forbidden knowledge with us, knowledge that God wanted us to find and learn on our own. But throughout all of this, these greys, these reptilians, these demonic entities, these alien creatures, they need tools. So what do? They find families who have pull throughout the world. Bilderbergs, Kennedys, Onassis, and much more. And they use these 13 families of the Illuminati as weapons, as a hand. And they tell them to create a shadow government, a government that works within the shadows of the world, that really does run everything, and they are just a tool for these alien demonic creatures, which in fact are only a tool themselves for the main goal, the Luciferian agenda, right? Now, when using these 13 families, hey, you know what? You guys are of substantial wealth and power. You run a shadow government. You answer to no one other than the Luciferian agenda. Create these things. Create these things to control humanity. Create big pharma. Create mass media. Create the military-industrial complex. And just keep creating these powerful organizations that make sense, but humanity and certain people will still call a conspiracy. Create the turmoil, create the inner turmoil, and that we shall receive what we want, These creatures have been doing this for a long time. And the shadow government has their own, I just said it, the military-industrial complex. With the military-industrial complex, there is Darpa. And Darpa has created and been responsible for some of the most evil weapons humanity has ever known. Where did these weapons come from? Not from humanity, not from humanity's brain, but from these aliens and these demons, these demonic entity alien creatures. This is information that the government doesn't want us to know about. And being that the shadow government is a tool for the Luciferian agenda, they have their fingers in all of the world's clandestine organizations. They have their hands in our CIA, in our FBI, in Mossad, in all other kind of clandestine government agencies worldwide, KGB, whatever. You name it, and they may not control it all, but they control it. They control bits and pieces of it, the workings. So if they want to throw a cog, in that wheel, they do. And this information that I'm going to share with you right now is pretty insane. What is with this world? It really doesn't matter what new technologies surface. It's how can we weaponize it? That's the overarching meme of the powers that shouldn't be of self-appointed overlords. It's insane. Whether it's money, viruses, bacteria, flying things, food, water, sound, electromagnetic technology, anything with a camera, x-rays, radiation, foyers into space, psychological advancements, animals, insects, vehicles of any sort, including unmanned drones of every size, time travel and remote viewing, microchips, computers, robots, transhuman bodily attachments, genetic modifications, and hell, even the air, environment, and flipping the weather. And that's just some of the stuff that we know about. Just look at all of the crap they are pumping out. It's incredible, all in the name of national security. Darpa, or the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, is a highly secretive branch of the military-industrial monster. It spends billions on developing just such insanities. But that's the only officially known black op. Cloaked in its extremely handy veil of classified, like so many tens of thousands of documents and undercover operations for decades, Darpa does whatever the hell it pleases, just like the shadow government, while the populace sleeps, feeling protected from one set of fictitious bad guys to another. So-called Congress is a long-dead joke in this cryptocracy called the United States. That icon of so-called freedom has slipped off like a bad toupee worn by Hitler lookalikes in a wax museum. Your bullshit detector has to be changed and cleaned more often than a baby's diaper just to keep up with the lies being spun on an hourly basis. It's sick out there. All the more reasons to stay detached, awake, and fully conscious, where freedom truly reigns. Really quick, before we get into the next part. DARPA, no matter how deep I go, no matter how deep of a rabbit hole I go, I use the internet the way it's meant to be used. I research. I use tours to go to places that are dark, that are deep, to find this information. Because I want to know, just like you guys want to know. I am obsessed with this, just like all of you. Darpa, when Victor first came to the channel, people called him a liar. Then I got some really strange emails from CIA.gov. You cannot create a .gov email address. Those are in the community posts. Scroll down about 5-6 years and you'll see them. They are CIA.gov. You'll click on that and you'll bring you right to the CIA's website. Those are emails that I received. Now, Victor told us about this breeding program. Victor told us that it was run by a clandestine agency, and they, in fact, recruited from different military agencies, Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, hunters and whatnot. But they talked about microchipping. He talked about the microchip. That's how they controlled them. They didn't create them. They controlled them. They controlled them as weapons. DARPA, to this day, is still doing that. They have now, not just now, not recently, they are still doing it, but they are honing technology to use on underwater animals, such as whales, such as dolphins, to use as weapons. That is just more evidence of the evil hold that this shadow government has. Just a tool. They are just a tool for the Luciferian agenda. And that technology that they feed us and give us is the technology of the demons. Maybe extraterrestrials are demons. Some for angels, jinn, ghosts, poltergeists, fairies. Vedas describe a race of underground serpent creatures, while China has been infested with flying dragons for tens of thousands of years. In 800 BC, a golden army of soldiers was seen levitating in the sky over Mongolia for months. Ireland was known of the land of fairies, but they didn't look like Tinkerbell. Every culture near the ocean has relationship with sirens and the kraken. These are the demon gods of Rome, and the technology is still alive today in our psyche. Demons aren't sentient like we are. They require a consciousness to serve as a host. They are real, but non-corporeal, therefore non-temporal. A demon is a program running in a psychic space, like an algorithm. It has a goal and a purpose. Some demons are simple organisms, like a calculator on your phone, while other demons are as profound as a web browser giving you access to the entire world. Demons are not evil, and they predate any notion of the devil. Demons are immoral technology. They can be used for good or bad. Demons are psychic algorithms. Men have engaged these programs since ancient Egypt. Demons are as real as software that runs your bank account. First, we must remove the stigma of the word demon and go back to the original Greek definition of daemon, is the spirit of the divine inspiration. It was the Abrahamic traditions that declared demons to be the force of evil. The book of Enoch calls demons the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. Pagans knew demons were a powerful energy in a collective mind. Constantine considered this belief as his biggest obstacle. Demons are a technology written into the language of the archetypes. Every mind shares a common library of archetypes, like the meaning of the archway or the symbolism of the lotus. Think of archetypes as an ancestral subterranean language installed in the DNA. Demons are written to infect our gene through possessions. They can be passed down. Our ancestral trauma memories are activated automatically like seeds in the spring. They run below our conscious operating system. When a spider is born, she already possesses the instructions to spin her web. She is possessed by a silky demon of architecture. A ceremony of the Dark Mother gives birth to the cannibal's son, Vlad the Impaler. He possessed thirst pumped through his veins of Prince Charles and the crown. We are haunted by our own demons. They belong to us. They are living inside our awareness. Think of a demon as an application on your phone. Demons are installed. Demons can run in the background. Demons are binary leeches, summoned by our fingertips in shiny black mirrors. This technology is accessible through ritual, magic, and ceremony. Everyday Hollywood hacks are archetypal memory. The corporeal elite wield stolen ancient sigils charged with black magic of envy and addiction. Those sigils used to belong to us, we used to have to decide what they meant. Instead, demons enchant us with their crafted story in picture and sound. These days, people believe demons before they believe each other. Terrorism, climate catastrophes, the Iran 6 months away from a nuclear bomb are all forms of demonic possession. Killing JFK was a demonic voodoo trance. Psychopaths have weaponized demon technology in plain sight, and we have let them. They've convinced the sheep this kind of magic is the work of the devil or a fantasia of make-believe. The men with swords have convinced us steel is evil. Demons were probably discovered by an ancient artificial intelligence. Archaeology suggests that there was an advanced civilization well before the Younger Dryas. An AI, artificial intelligence, who understood the brain and the physical world would have an intricate map of the human archetypes. A superintelligence could use this map to simulate, predict, and control human behavior. The AI could inject demons into humanity and tend to us like a vegetable garden. It would nurture and serve people who were good for the garden while plucking the ones who were bad. An AI would use demons as a kind of pollen spore in our mind to control humanity, like a vibrational MP3 file playing in our body's software. This is once again AI. Darpa creating AI. Darpa didn't create AI, but they're going to use AI to wipe us out because that's what they want to do. The Luciferian agenda wants to wipe us out. Hollywood uses symbolisms because symbolism is demon technology. The Fox television show X-Files was a spellcraft. Today, a generation of infected by the script installed into their parents. This Hollywood summoning a demon into our mind. The ET demon is scripted, and an elite few control what it looks like in our psyche. This is why a small number of people own all of the media, real estate, and the key to mind control. Look who pushes ET. Hollywood, Fox, Vatican, Crawley, CNN, John Podesta. But ETs don't explain centuries of paranormal phenomena. The ET story doesn't explain how Hollywood elite succeeds through blackmail, communal worship of Satan, and hurting children. Nor does ETs explain psychopath, schizophrenia, or possession. A software running inside our Jungian archetypes explain this technology quite well. Historically, technologically, and intuitively, all the advanced evidence suggests some ET could be crafted demon technology from elite magicians. Understanding this deception, we can walk away from the exposed propaganda of the CIA, Tyson, Nye, NSA, NASA, Vatican, Hollywood, Pentagon, and the reptilian space pope. People call UFOs down telepathically from the sky. This is the very same scrying technique of the Queen's magician, Dr. John Dee. Both require a gamma state of meditation to summon this algorithm that runs in our consciousness. Demonology explains sociopathy, inspiration, schizophrenia, and genius. It explains savants, Satanism, angels, and some extraterrestrials. It explains Illuminati, the Golden Dawn, ancient archaeology, Atlantis, and the Vedas. It explains mass shootings like Colorado, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Vegas, and Parkland. Accepting demonology as real phenomena gives us back our power. It makes us dive back into somatics, meditation, psychic empowerment, grounding, placebo nature, and magic. The Great Awakening is an understanding of what happened to us under Constantine, when Rome used to shame to take away the power. They told us it was evil as we circumcised ourselves for circumcised ourselves for forgiveness. They made us forget who we truly were. They have us frozen in our own footprints while the moss is crying desperately at our bare feet. A sigil is a symbol or logo that has been charged with emotion. Sigils can be burned into our psyche, into our DNA. They are shortcuts to emotion. A smiley face, a heart, a fist, a middle finger. Sigils create automatic responses when seen in the world or in our dreams. A sigil for lust can trigger an addiction. Sigils activate our ancient subconscious juices. Magicians throughout history work with these sigils. In fact, Hitler employed this technology by claiming the swastika for Germany. Before the Third Reich, a swastika was a star map for Shambhala. They say symbolism will be our downfall, but symbolism is the reason they own the mountain in the first place. We have to take back our sigils. We have much work to do to realize there are no evil sigils. There are only sigils that have been charged by evil. Consider the traditional inflatable primary colored plastic beach ball. This is an archetype installed in our psyche with lots of mental real estate. Mental real estate means lots of people have one of these sigils already in their mind. Therefore, this sigil is charged with the feelings of play and youth. You can roll this down the street in America and predict its emotional residue in the psychic of every witness. A prediction is a form of scrying. Scrying is the magic of seeing the future. A super artificial intelligence with a database of each archetype could see the future. It could simulate the human adrenal system and predict and manipulate human behavior through the use of the sigil magic. Sigils are a technology of archetypal possession. They are the dangling keys that mesmerize babies. Our own demons are encased in a spell box of fear. People using black magic have turned the divine spirit into something that we think is evil. The term muse is a technology of demons. Mozart, Da Vinci, and Tesla were all possessed by evil spirits of inspiration. Hollywood wants to corner your magic with a poltergeist. They are in the business of hell-raising for the very reason. Under fear, people can't see the truth of their own. So interesting that a muse, if you really think about like how we are instructed to, I said this a while ago. Not a while ago. I said it on live stream, actually, 2 weeks ago. That I said, I believe I am a spiritual person because I know Jesus is my Savior, right? And I don't need to go to a church to pray to Jesus. I've accepted him into my heart, and I ask him for his forgiveness, and I ask him to guide me on how to be a better person every day. I don't need a church to tell me how to do that. I was created by God in his likeness, given free will, given a brain to think in its own. I don't need a business to tell me what is what. As long as I follow what Christ wants me to follow, what he puts in my path on a daily basis, what I know is good, morals. So by having a muse, that is not a bad thing. By having something that inspires a person is not bad, but we are taught that, yeah, it kind of is. It's no good. A business will tell us that it's no good. Spiritually, it's fine. So, stop, Tigger. Sorry about that. He literally will come from under the desk and whap me in my leg when he wants attention. So, all right. Do you believe the reports of targeted individuals, TIs? There is plenty of evidence that prove they are real, considering it the Darpa project of the American mind. Tragically, all victims' reports are automatically dismissed as psychological. The truth is too uncomfortable for society. I'm going to present two facts. Government mind control programs are real and hide in plain sight under the label schizophrenia. Demonic possession are the misunderstood technology of ethereals. It was a Friday afternoon in January 17th. Esteban Santiago, age 26, walked ceremonial into Fort Lauderdale's International Baggage Claim. Clammy hands. He grabbed the grip of a firearm, stuffed carelessly into his pants. Esteban had been targeted by the CIA for several years. At this point, he was simply running his program. He was the only one in the airport who knew what was about to happen. Esteban heard his own bell toll as he unstuffed the instrument of destruction. 5 strangers, close range, 8 more wounded. He wanted every shot efficient, courteous, and deadly. After he spent the smoking chamber, Esteban got down on his knees like a defeated samurai and waited. The voices in his head were gone. Hot, wet blood pumped the fresh action of every artery and vein. His receptors were reborn in a whole new trauma. It gave way to a polar shift of chemicals. The CIA voices would no longer be the center of his universe. They would have to scream over the ringing in his ears. Esteban had graduated from the TI program into a chance of life in prison. Now, Esteban had been targeted by the CIA. I have got this book, and I've said this before. When I pondered the idea, and many of you have too. I said, Dogman and Bigfoot and crawler experiences, paranormal experiences, they all seem to have an attraction or something to people with addiction and mental illness. I've said this for years. This is nothing new that I'm saying right here. And I believe it to be true. I really do believe it to be true. The amount of people that I have talked that have had addiction issues and had Dogman experiences is substantial. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, addiction is, unfortunately, a very large portion of the population suffer from it. It's if you can overcome it, and how you overcome it, and what you do afterward. That is the key. But I said this, look at Appalachia. Appalachia is a dark and just a very creepy place. It's got haints from back in the old days, right? A area of poverty and just almost being cut off from the rest of the world, the rest of the country, it seems like. But some of the people from the Appalachia region are some of the most honest and kind people I have ever met. But for some reason, the majority of people in the Appalachia have had experiences with cryptids, experiences with the paranormal. So I started to think about this one day. I was like, holy shit. What if people that are in mental institutions, mental hospitals, suffering from schizophrenia are actually haunted by something? are actually not possessed, but are actually, have an attachment or possessed, right? Or what if they are targeted by Darpa and the CIA? This book, I found this book and it blew me away. Whispers from the Unknown, the link between schizophrenia and paranormal experiences. If you guys can get a chance to grab this book, it's not a very big book, but it's got a hell of a lot of information in it. And it's very interesting. So, the CIA, DARPA, they use these people as experiments, as weapons. I mean, heck, it's easy to use MK Ultra, pump voices into somebody's head, use them as a weapon. It's evil. It's the Luciferian agenda at work. Like this one. Denver's Scott Ostrom, healthy 18-year-old with a hobby for fitness and camping. One night he ingested 16 doses of LSD at a party and dropped his psychic guard like a pair of trousers. Each protective layer of identity melted into a puddle of wax. Every person at that party was concerned. They stood over his beached life force, marooned with no shields. No one saw the dangers of their own aura drip. Each of us carry passengers that cling to our spines like hobos. These are ethereal stowaways living in our DNA that we call demons. Scott lost a lifelong battle he could have corrected with a force field. He was never the same after that party. Scott grew reclusive through the years. He would later agree to a demonic exorcism from a priest, but the exorcism only gave birth. Scott became possessed in 1988. On November 1st, 2017, Scott casually walked into a Walmart and ended 3 people. Wade Allen Moulton had been hearing muffled voices since he was 17, treated for schizophrenia. In 2018, while Wade was working at an Albuquerque warehouse, he took fire and wounded 3. Voices in his head told him he had telepathically instigated a shooting that occurred a year prior. Wade's employer owned a warehouse in Texas where the shooting occurred. This is an example of how demonic possession can resonate from Texas to New Mexico. Christine Perez, that was that shooter in Texas, said her life had been threatened over 15 years ago. She apologized in premeditated confession, saying she had been pushed too far. She passed after the shooting, ending her manager and wounding an employee. Wade ended himself after 6 cell phone conversations with police. Both demons fed off the same trauma echo. They resonated in symphony like a tuning fork and a tone. More and more victims all carrying the same root cause. So, did DARPA figure out how to use inorganic beings? These ethereal beings are inorganic beings? If you don't know what that is, there's a great thesis written by the University of Hawaii. You can Google it, Inorganic Beings. It is a mind-blowing read. And there's more. I mean, it just keeps getting, the amount of people. All of these cases can be attributed to the government black budget operation or a personal possession of a demon. Every case describes real events experienced by each person. Just because we can't see them doesn't mean they are not here. Many of these people also reported seeing demons. We should believe them. They are seeing trauma echo from their DNAs, from their body's DNA. What they call DNA, or what they call demons, are ethereal vibration. Schizophrenics, mescaline users, demon whisperers all see the same reality, and it's drenched in ripples of lingering pain. In some countries, schizophrenia is nurtured by a village. In America, it is used by the government, by the military-industrial complex, as a test mechanism for soldiers, super soldiers. They turn these people, these are just test subjects, right? And then they turn them, they keep honing it and making them, how can we do this? How can we get the perfect, mixture right, just right? And then have them become a super soldier where they don't feel pain, they don't feel empathy, they don't feel sympathy, they don't feel anything, and they just go and do. Electromagnetic ethereal warfare is a real thing. Sound can be made into sound bullets and aimed like a laser. A human skull is a parabola dish antenna, capable of reverberating a signal. Low-frequency ELF Gwen towers had been built across the country long before we even read about 5G. Voice of God technology has long been deployed in the desert. People reach out and share their TI experiences. TIs, they tell me their experiences left speechless. I struggle to tell them that I believe them. I don't want to lie. This one is one of those. It makes the neighborhood a dangerous place. I tell them I am listening, though. My gut reminds me a psychological gaslighting program would look exactly like this. If a TI confides in you, don't lie to them. If they ask you if you believe them, nothing causes more harm when you are being gaslit than being lied to. They will feel more trust by you for being honest. TI needs honesty desperately. Our world is full of lies. We are all targeted by dissonance. We can all relate to their pain. Targeting the body is done with energy, frequency, and vibration, the same tools we can use to heal it. The body electric is a three-piece band. Our lungs are pipes. Our heart is the drum. Our brain plays the strings. The body song cycles between 1 to 16 revolutions per second. We long to be in sync with ourselves and each other. Any rhythm can subtly be influenced by a non-sympathetic vibration. We can be led by a discomfort and subconsciously change our own tune. Like the body, the earth has these same three rhythms. The Schumann fundamental 7.83 hertz is the rhythm of breath. The second order is the rhythm of the heart, 14.1 hertz. The third of the thought, 20.3 hertz. Imagine you controlling all three frequencies of your own body, your breath, heart, and mind. You could tune your body in sync with the earth's song. Your mind would pulse the very same frequency. If you are being targeted individual or suffering from voices, you're not alone. The truth is you are, and both of us know it. You have been abandoned by society's fence. Your ball is kicked over into the woods, and no one is coming to get it. The secret is to find your power. You can stalk your own body and see the shadow of these demons. Survey the perimeter of your life force like you just inherited a new kingdom. So just like Victor shared with us the chipping of dogmen, the chipping of werewolves. For some reason, Bigfoot didn't do well with that program. Who knows why? Maybe because they are of a different, maybe their genetic makeup doesn't work like that. But they found a way of controlling these creatures, right? Just like they found a way of controlling inorganic beings. Were these people schizophrenic? Were they demonically possessed? No. Because honestly, none of what was described by any of them match up to reality. They were controlled by the CIA, controlled by Darpa, which therefore is all under the Luciferian agenda. The Luciferian agenda is trying to end humanity. It has tried since the dawn of man. Bad always tries to outshine good. It doesn't. It never will. But if you are a tool for the Luciferian agenda, the biggest entity, 13 families, they will do and pay anything to control humanity. Incorporating themselves in these clandestine agencies to do their bidding. A shadow government outside of Washington that really controls it all. That knows exactly what's on what's on level 7, 6, and 7 of Dulce. It's terrifying. They are playing just like these aliens in Dulce are playing with humanity and creating something that is demonic, and it's proof that the Luciferian agenda is, and it's all connected. It all falls right under the Luciferian agenda. Luciferian agenda, Illuminati, clandestine agencies, cryptids, and it just keeps going and going and going until it gets to the bottom. Main goal: wipe out humanity by whatever means necessary. If they can get away with it by using these creatures in our woods, if they need to create some other kind of creature like the crawler, the evil is there. The evil is here, unfortunately. And it's terrifying. It's truly terrifying. Guys, once again, the info that I shared with you today was not from this book, but this book is definitely an amazing read. If you, and many of you, feel how I feel, you take 5 people that have schizophrenia, And out of those 5, 1 or 2 may not have it. Those 1 or 2 just may have a feeling. It doesn't. It's terrifying. So, with that, I'd like to thank you all for supporting this channel. It is your support that helps the channel to continue to grow and go, and what gives us all a place and a chance to share our experiences and theories judgment-free. Everyone is simply treated with the respect that we deserve. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, pets, family, and our friends. These creatures are real. These events have happened. Share this information with those you love and care about, and it may just help save their lives someday. Until next time, never stop asking questions, never stop searching for the truth, and God bless you all.